Hello, aspirants. So, 2024 UPSC uh, Civil Services Prelims exam has been conducted today in the morning session. So, GS paper has been done. So, largely UPSC has followed the previous year trends regarding the questions, pattern, composition of the paper, and all those things. Right. So, now we will be discussing history and culture part of this 2024 UPSC Civil Services Prelims. So in total, there are 12 questions asked this year from history and culture part. Generally, the questions from history culture part, they are 10 to 15, following the same trend. So this year too, there are 12 questions. But the thing here is, most of the questions, they are from ancient part. So modern part, they are bit less. And medieval part, there is only one question got asked from the medieval part, right? So this is the case. So we'll go one by one. Now, 23rd question in set C. So here we are looking at set C, right? So in set C, 23rd question, if you look at it, it's part of modern Indian history, or you can say post-independence Indian history kind of, right? So Bharatiya Janasangh political parties and their leaders of those political parties, how many of the pairs given are correctly matched? This is the question. Bharatiya Janasangh, Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, yes, he is the one closely associated with this party, the founder and all that. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, a famous personality in the history of post-independence India. He was part of Nehru's cabinet, first cabinet. He was Industries and Supplies Minister. Later on, he formed this party. He fought for the total merger of Kashmir into India, right? So he was against Article 370 and all these things. So he was very closely associated with this thing. He was the leader of Bharatiya Janasangh. Yes, first it is correct. Okay. Second question, Socialist Party, Rajagopalachari. It is wrong. Socialist Party, the founder, the leader, and all that was Acharya Narendra Dev. Okay. So Socialist Party, we know at the time of independence and even before independence, socialists, they fought against British. They had their own, what you can say, ideology. They had their own plans regarding India, how India should progress. The focus should be more on agrarian sector. All such ideas were there for them. So Socialist Party leader was Acharya Narendra Dev, not Rajagopalachari. Rajagopalachari, he was with Congress party at the time of independence. Later on, Rajagopalachari, he started his own party, that is Swatantra. So he started out Swatantra party, and which gave a big challenge to Congress party in the 1967 elections, mainly. So Socialist Party was not Rajagopalachari, it was Narendra Dev. Rajagopalachari, he was with Congress, and later he started his own party called Swatantra Party. Okay. Next, Congress for Democracy, Jagjeevan Ram, correctly matched. Congress for Democracy was started by Jagjeevan Ram at the time of post emergency period. 1975 to 77 was emergency in India. So post emergency, Jagjeevan Ram. So he differed with Indira Gandhi. He came out of Congress party and started his own party called CFD, uh, Congress for Democracy, by Jagjeevan Ram. Right. So two pairs are correct, Bharatiya Janasangh and CFD, Congress for Democracy, Shyam Prasad Mukherjee and then Jagjeevan Ram. So here these two Socialist Party and Swatantra, they got interchanged. Okay, that's regarding 23rd question. Now, next question, part of history and culture component, comes in 31. So 31 paper C, set C, 31st question. Who was the provisional president of Constituent Assembly before Rajendra Prasad took over? Before Rajendra Prasad taking over as the regular president of Constituent Assembly, the president of Constituent Assembly was Sachidananda Sinha. So it's a direct question, right? So popular Sachidananda Sinha, anyone who reads history or even polity, especially when we look at the preparation of constitution, formation of constituent assembly and all that, definitely you would get to know Sachidananda Sinha. So even with moderate level of preparation, you should know Sachidananda Sinha because he's an important person who was the president before Rajendra Prasad taking over. Okay, so factual and even with moderate preparation, you should be able to. Regarding the Bharatiya Janasangh question and all that, they are famous. Bharatiya Janasangh, Mr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, they are famous in the context of Article 370 and all those things, right? So if you were following newspaper regarding this entire Kashmir issue and all that, definitely you should know those names. So this is the case. So here the thing is, so here in this case, okay, So this is a moderate level question, not that tough in this case, right? Next, 32nd question. So 32nd question, with reference to Government of India Act, so Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. So we all know Government of India Act, one of the most important acts, because this act was the basis even for our constitution. So it is said that many provisions from this act, they were taken up and they were directly placed in our constitution. Some they even give the number of 200 to 250 articles being taken from this act alone. Okay, so such an important act, the basis of kind of what you can say, basis of our constitution, right? So this act important. So any aspirant, any serious aspirant, even with moderate preparation, they would know this act clearly. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of British Indian provinces and princely states. Yes, this is the most important aspect and primary aspect of this Government of India Act 1935. Even with on the face preparation, you should know it. Okay, so the main purpose was creating All India Federation where both British provinces plus princely states would be part of it. So princes would also get membership, princely states would also get membership in the council and all those things. So yes, this statement, it is correct. Next, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature, which is wrong. This is wrong because uh, defense and foreign affairs, they were not kept under the responsibility or control of federal. They were directly kept under Governor General. Okay, there are certain aspects like defense, foreign affairs, tribal areas administration, religious affairs, especially church matters. They were all placed under Governor General directly, not under federal legislature, because British in these aspects of defense, external affairs, church related aspects, tribal areas and all that, they didn't want anyone to hold them responsible. That's the reason why they have not given the power of holding them responsible even to federal legislature. They have kept them directly under Governor General. Okay, even the residuary aspects also, residuary powers, they were also kept with Governor General. Okay, so this you should be clear. It's simple. Try to apply the logic. Why would British give defense, foreign affairs related control to someone else? Okay, to a legislature. Why would they allow them to be held responsible? As simple as that. They will not allow them to be held responsible by any legislature in any case. That's the logic you should apply. Then you would get the answer only one. Okay, only one is the answer for this. So first statement is correct. Second statement is wrong. Next, 33rd. So ancient Indian history, 33rd. So Bhasa, what did Bhasa write? See, don't go by the markings. So don't go by the markings. These markings are by aspirants. Okay, don't go by them. So follow the content which I am telling as of now. So Bhasa, what did Bhasa write? So the writing of Bhasa among these is Madhyama Vyayoga. So this is the book written by Bhasa, the 7th century poet, 7th century AD or CE poet. So he wrote this Madhyama Vyayoga. This is the book written by him. So these books, Natya Shastra was by Bharata Muni, Mahabhashya was by Patanjali, right? So these books, they are written by different people. So Madhyama Vyayoga is written by Bhasa. Okay. Next. Next. Sanghabhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China at the end of 4th century AD, was the author of commentary on. Okay, so Sanghabhuti is so the description given. So Indian Buddhist monk and all that. See, this is a difficult question definitely because in any general book or in any NCRT, in any standard book that we follow for history, UPSC history, So this name doesn't occur in general. Okay. So this person, he wrote this entire commentary on Sarvastivada Vinaya. Okay. Sarvastivada Vinaya is one of the famous school of Buddhism, or you can say philosophy of Buddhism, mainly followed in Kashmir and even some parts of Tibet. So in these parts, the Sarvastivada Vinaya philosophy is followed, right? So on this philosophy, on this work, on this entire book thing, so Mr. Sangabhuti, so who went to China and all that, he has written the thing. So this is the correct answer. Sarvastivada Vinaya. Next question in history part, 35th. Okay. 35th. Consider the following properties included in the World Heritage List released by UNESCO. So, what are the UNESCO World Heritage Sites? Right, obviously in India. Shantiniketan, yes, it is part of the UNESCO World Heritage. This thing, Shantiniketan, Rabindranath Tagore, open school system, all those things. So famous. Rani Ki Vav, Rani Ka Vav is a 11th century construction by uh, Chalukya rulers of Gujarat. Okay, so Rani Ki Vav was by a Chalukya queen of 11th century. Next, sacred ensembles of Hoysalas. Yes, Hoysalas recently they got included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. So Hoysalas, they belong to the 13th century, 12th and 13th centuries, right? So they have constructed a lot of temples in Halebid, Belur. So in all these places we have Chanakeshwar temple and other temples written by constructed by them. So they are also part of this UNESCO World Heritage thing. Next, Mahabodhi temple at Bodh Gaya. So from many years, this Mahabodhi temple complex at Bodh Gaya, where Buddha attained that enlightenment and all that. So it is also part of UNESCO World Heritage List. So all the four is the correct answer. Okay. So all the four, they are there, right? So all the four, they are there. In them, among them, we can see that sacred ensembles of Hoysalas, they got included in 2023. Okay, they got included here in 2023. Next, you mentioned 44. With reference to ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? Which of the following names or the kind of epithet means other names given to that particular person, even to certain time periods, epithets are given. So there are other names given. So Shakyamuni, Tathagata. These are the two epithets that are associated with Gautam Buddha. Okay, Shakyamuni because he belongs to Shakya clan, right? Tathagata means the one who has that balance and all that. So Nayaputta is generally, this term is associated with Jainism. Okay, so this term it is associated with Jainism. So 2 and 3 is the correct code. So 2 and 3 is the correct code in the given thing. So Nayabutta is of Jainism, Sakyamuni and Tathagata of Buddha. Okay. Next question. 45. Information correctly matched. Regarding the information correctly matched, Chandraketugarh, Odisha trading port town, this is wrong. Chandraketugarh, first of all, it's present in Bengal. There itself, the answer is gone. Chandraketugarh is a very famous ancient site present in Bengal. It's a kind of political center, cultural center in ancient Bengal. So not Odisha. So it's to the north of Kolkata, right? So it's not in Odisha. And it's not a trading port town, basically. Chandraketugarh is in the kind of interior, it's not on the sea coast. So first is wrong. Second, Inamgaon, Maharashtra Chalcolithic site, correct. So Inamgaon is part of the Chalcolithic times, and it has even got certain Harappan civilization features in it. Though it's a Chalcolithic site and all that, but it has got it. So Inamgaon, its Chalcolithic site is correct. Next, Mangdu Kerala megalithic site, it's correct. So Kerala, especially in the Kollam region, Kollam district of Kerala, there are certain megalithic settlements, right? Megalithic era, which is associated with large, huge stones being used for burials and some amount of iron being used and all that. So in Kerala, in Kollam district, we have Mangdu district. It's correct. Basically, it's correct. Next, Salihundam, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, till here it is correct. But rock cut cave shrines, this is wrong. There are no rock cut cave shrines in Salihundam. We only find Buddhist construction related remnants there. Some kind of stupa, kind of chaitya, kind of some Buddhist construction related remnants we have got there in Salihundam. There are no cave shrines over there. Like Ellora or Ajanta, there are no cave aspects, cave shrines and all that. So till here the detailing is correct, but here description is wrong. Okay. So 2 and 3 is the correct answer. So correctly matched is 2 and 3. Okay. Right. Next, from medieval, we have got this question. I think only question from medieval. Rulers of medieval India gave permission to the Portuguese to build a fort at Bhatkal. So, so to for Portuguese, permission being given to construct and all that was Krishnadevaraya. So don't go by these markings. Okay. So it was Krishnadevaraya, right? Because Krishnadevaraya, Portuguese, they had good relation. Portuguese and Krishnadevaraya, they were against each other. Sorry, Krishnadevaraya, Portuguese, they had their common enemy against Bijapur, especially. So because of that particular relation and kind of thing, animosity, common animosity against the Bijapur sultans. So they had some kind of, they had a treaty kind of thing. So under that treaty, in Bhatkal, Krishnadevaraya allowed Portuguese to construct a port and conduct trade. So later on, we know later on they got settled in Goa. They made Goa their main base. But here in Bhatkal, to build a fort and all that, to fortify their port, to protect their trade and commerce, it was Krishnadevaraya who gave them permission. Okay, so Albuquerque was the governor of Portuguese at that time. So Albuquerque and Krishnadevaraya, they had that kind of relation. Even Portuguese helped Krishnadevaraya in the Raichur War also, right? This is the case. So 46, it's here. Next. '47, revenue collection by Cornwallis. Consider the following statements, okay, regarding Cornwallis and all. So modern India, under the Raithwari systems, under the Raithwari settlement of revenue collection, the peasants were exempted from revenue payment in case of bad harvests or natural calamities. Okay, see, basically, first statement doesn't fit into this entire scheme of question, because here the context got set by the examiner, revenue collection by Cornwallis. Raithwari system as a system came into picture after Cornwallis. It came into picture in South India under Thomas Munro, in Madras presidency, in Bombay presidency under Elphinstone, right? So it came into picture. So here, with regarding Cornwallis, this entire thing is obviously wrong. Plus, under Raithwari system in the British rule, there was no such exemption because there was bad harvest or because there was natural disaster or something like that. No. So if it was the case, then Britishers would have been praised, right? Because they are exempting taxes under bad conditions and all that. Never they were like that. They used to fix this particular tax thing. Even in the Raithwari system, they used to say, okay, this is your average production. So based on your average production, for the next coming years, you have to pay this amount. So even if they had bad harvest, even if the farmers had losses because of natural disasters and other things, they were not exempted. They were forced to pay that amount that was fixed under Raithwari settlement. So under both the counts, Raithwari system, this statement given is wrong. Okay, there was no exemption. They had to pay the revenue fixed under the Raithwari settlement. Right. This was the case. That was the reason, because there was no exemption even under bad conditions to the farmers. There was a lot of indebtedness. There was a lot of transfer of land to money lenders and all these things happening in Deccan and even in Madras presidency. Next, second statement. Under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if the Zamindar failed to pay his revenues to the state on or before the fixed date, he would be removed from his zemindari. Yes, it is correct. Regular, we know it. So even with moderate preparation, you should be knowing that under zemindari system, a zemindari estate would be assigned to a zemindar who took it under auction, right? Who took it. So there used to be something called sunset law. Under that sunset law, on a particular day, on a particular given date, before the sunset, they had to pay. The zamindar had to pay that particular tax amount, prescribed tax amount. Otherwise, their zamindari would be stripped off, and that zamindari would be auctioned off to somebody else, right? So second statement, it is correct. So 2 is correct. So which of the above statement given are correct? Only 2. So 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. Okay. Next, 48. Following statements. There are no parables in Upanishads. See, parable means illustrations or stories. Okay, illustrations, stories, conversation kind of things to explain a particular thing. Explaining a particular thing through illustration or story is parable. Okay, there are no parables in Upanishads. No, there are parables in Upanishads. There are many conversation stories, short stories kind of things in illustrations in Upanishads. So this is definitely wrong. Right. Upanishads were composed earlier than Puranas. Yes, this is correct. Okay. Upanishads, they were composed because Upanishads, they came immediately after Vedas. Right. Kind of during 600, 500 BC kind of time period. Around that time period, we have got Upanishads. Puranas, they came bit later. Okay. The earliest Purana considered, arguably the earliest Purana, Vishnu Purana came, so we date it around 400 BC. Okay. So Puranas, they came bit later. Okay. So by that logic, Upanishads were composed earlier than Puranas. It stands correct. So 2 is correct. Okay. 1 is definitely this. 1 is wrong. Next question, part of history and culture syllabus of UPSC prelims. Which of the following was the latest inclusion in the intangible cultural heritage list of UNESCO? Latest inclusion is Garba dance. So Garba dance, part of current affairs, you should be following it. So Garba dance of Gujarat, it got included in, is the latest inclusion. Chow dance, we know it's a dance form of Santals in Jharkhand, Odisha region. We have this Chow dance, which is famous and which was there in the intangible cultural list from many years. Okay, cultural heritage list. Durga Puja of Kolkata, uh, before Garba dance, I think 2-3 years ago itself, Durga Puja of Bengal, mainly, not just Kolkata, of Bengal. So it got included into the intangible cultural heritage of UNESCO. Coming to Kumbh Mela, from many years, Kumbh Mela is part of this intangible cultural heritage. Kumbh Mela, we know Allahabad mainly. So in the Triveni Sangamam region of Allahabad, so Kumbh Mela is celebrated, one of the largest human congregations of the world, right? So it was also there from many years. So among them, this stands out to be the latest inclusion into the intangible cultural heritage list of UNESCO. Okay, right. So beyond this, there are no history culture based questions. Other subjects are there, right? So now, right. So 23 we have seen Bharati Jansangh question, CFD question, and all that. So 23 in set C. Set C, again I am repeating for your convenience. Set C UPSC 2024. Then directly 31 is the question related to history, modern, postmodern Indian history and all that. And then 32, 33, 34, 35 we have seen. 30, 35, after 35 it's 44 directly. So 44, 45, 46, 47 we have seen, 48 we have seen, and then 50. So these are the questions related to history and culture paper. So all the best.